Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to be doing something a bit different than in previous videos. We are separating the historical side and war history side from War Thunder gameplay as we did in previous videos, because apparently I can't multitask. So we're gonna do War Thunder gameplay and history discussions, presentations in different videos. Today, as you see on the screen, we are going to be talking about one of the most important actions during the German invasion of Norway, the Battle of Narvik. It happened in April to June of 1940. Germany sailed 10 destroyers up to Narvik, carrying on the destroyers about 2,000 troops, 2,000 mountain troops. They took over Narvik at the beginning on the 9th of April 1940. Was a bit of a surprise because Narvik is really up north, as you see on the map here, and Allies and the Norwegians didn't expect the Germans to attack this far north yet, but two Norwegian coastal defense ships were standing in the way in the Narvik fjord, in the way of the Germans, and they were sunk by the German destroyers after they refused to surrender. And Narvik's local garrison was captured and the town fell. The Narvik held a port, the most northern port in Norway, and that was sizable with decent infrastructure that could support German supply of iron ore from Sweden, which was also the main goal of this operation, to get Narvik port through which they would be able to transport the iron ore across the ocean to across the Atlantic, across the North Sea, into to south to Germany. Then on April 10th, 1940, the first naval engagement, naval battle of the Narvik battles happened when 5 British destroyers launched a surprise raid against the Germans. They sunk 5 German destroyers. Several were heavily damaged, but the British commander of the destroyer flotilla was killed in the battle, and after that was rewarded Victoria Star. Germans lost 2 destroyers, sunk, 3 were heavily damaged, while British destroyers, two of them suffered damage, and 1 was sunk. And on the April 13th, of 1940 is known as the Second Battle of Narvik. The British force, British Royal Navy, led by the battleship Warspite and 9 destroyers, returned to finish the job started by the British destroyers 3 days earlier by sailing the battleship past the German screening forces, which were 2 submarines that were outside the fjord, who couldn't do much but watch as Warspite sailed by, and British sunk sunk all the remaining German destroyers, and British fiery swordfish scout plane launched from Warspite sunk a German submarine as well. In this in this moment, then on, the Allies controlled the sea around Narvik completely. In mid-April, early May 1940, Allies were building up their forces. Allied troops were British, French, Foreign Legion, Polish and Norwegian forces begin to land, especially in, sorry for butchering Norwegian names, at Harstad, and fighting was difficult. Arctic conditions, Arctic terrain, still in mid-April, early May, was still snow, a mountainous terrain, which is most of Norway, made fighting incredibly difficult. As you know, mountain operations, mountain warfare is one of the hardest terrains to fight in. You need to fight both the enemy, the mountains themselves, the conditions, cold, steep, everything is much harder. And the Allies were starting to push the Germans back, as you see here on the map, where the main pushes from the Allies came, the main advances, but the fighting was brutal. As I said, because of the rain, because of the weather, snow-covered mountains, the Polish Highland Brigade and the French Foreign Legion pushed through German defenses at Axne and Biesfjord. Sorry again, butchering Norwegian towns and cities. But Norwegian and French troops attacked from the northeast, and German forces were having severe supply shortages throughout the campaign because the control of the sea was lost after Warspite ragdolled the German destroyers around the fjord. Fun fact, back to the destroyers and warspite, one of the German destroyers captain, because destroyer was severely damaged already, beached the destroyer on the coast, so the troops could walk to the solid ground, saving their lives. By the end of by the May 28th, towards the end of May, the Allies were able to capture Narvik itself through heavy fighting. Polish and French troops landed from the sea at Bakervik, and Norwegian troops pressed from the north. Narvik was the first victory, although it was short-lived, by the Allies against the Germans in the Second World War. But then, because of the German advance in France, the Allies pulled troops out of Norway to help the to save France, to try and save France. We know how that went. Norwegian forces were not informed about the Allies leaving. Now imagine you and your buddies get in a brawl in a bar, and you start winning the brawl, and your friends run away without telling you. Yeah. And Germans then took over Narvik again about June 10th, June 9th. Narvik fell. June 10th, Norway surrendered, ending the invasion of Norway by the Germans. This is my take on it. Both sides then had done a lot of mistakes. Germans got overstretched during the battle itself. During the advances around Bjerkavik and the capture of Bjerkavik, and then the Allies took the south over here. The German troops, which were over here, up here, were forced to retreat. Here, closing the gap around, and also a German supply depot was over here, was under threat of being captured, and then later it was captured. Germans, by going fast after Narvik, overextended themselves. They couldn't fight the British. They couldn't protect transports, troop transport ships that are slower and barely not armed against the Royal Navy. That's why they went with destroyers, put troops directly on the destroyers and sailed north, so they were faster. But as effect of that, they overextended. They couldn't supply their troops. Luftwaffe was barely in reach, was struggling to reach Narvik, and then as the effect of the Battle for Narvik, German suffered massive losses in destroyers and ships, which affected the further war effort, Germany's war effort, especially at sea, because they lost a lot of service combatants, a lot more than it affected British. British also lost a lot of a bunch of destroyers outside the fjord itself fighting. They lost a carrier to Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, and they lost also cruiser and so on, while German cruiser was heavily damaged by a British destroyer crashing into it. So these are a bit of information of what was happening around Narvik at sea, which kind of affected the battle directly. The effect of the battle was at the end, Allies pulled out in hastily, barely told Norwegians in the last minute. Norwegians still had to help cover the retreat of the Allies, so the Allies were redeploying troops to France. Because of that, Norwegians were outnumbered, and Norway fell after Narvik was captured on 10th of June 1940. But the effects, as I said, were broader, especially for Germany. Yes, they got access to iron ore from Sweden, but they lost ships, they lost destroyers, surface combatants that they couldn't replace, where the Allies could take those losses, could survive those losses, wouldn't suffer, and they didn't suffer as much from them. Oh, this is my take, hopefully not too bad, on Battle of Narvik. It's an important battle. I hope I did a good enough of a job. And thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, write down in the comments what I'm doing wrong, what I should do better. My research here was a bit spotty. I seen down through the video, but as I said, write down in the comments any mistakes, anything I should do better. Curse me out if you need to. No, I will take the criticism. And thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. This was an interesting topic to dive into. And goodbye sorry, not goodbye yet. I'm gonna say again about we are changing the system. I'm changing what I post by splitting the two teams of videos into War Thunder separately and History separately. So this is how we're gonna do further on. So thank you for listening, thank you for your time, and goodbye to the next one.